Good morning, Cry family. Per Sean's request, I am recording my testimonials of what God did in Florida as a result of Hurricane Ian. My main story is actually related to Kate, who had her accident, truly an accident, but a very painful one emotionally and physically for her as the stage door fell on her. I was the first one to her side. And as I assessed her wound, she had a very large gash on her forehead from her forehead being rammed into the gravel, or the stones, gravel, from the impact of the door, or of the wall. It was really a wall. And she was also screaming for her back pain, so I knew she had broken her back. But I was concerned about that head wound more than anything. Because of the implications of what that was. And there was also underneath her wound, it was concaved. So I immediately assessed that she probably broke her skull at that point. And I thought I saw gray matter. And so that's when I stood up and I turned around and I kind of raised my voice and proclaimed to the team to gather and pray, please pray. So I was assessing her level of consciousness, and she was doing well in that area. When EMT got there, I pointed out the wound, and I said, and I kind of mouthed to them so she would know that I'm concerned about this head injury, and they nodded, and I said gray matter, and they nodded. And at that moment, I said heliport, we nodded. So that's when we decided to airlift her to a trauma center. I know that her spine was in okay shape at that time because she was moving everything. She was still alert and oriented. So grateful. I went into the place where we slept at the nursery center, and I just got on the floor and cried and prayed and cried out to God, please, Lord, no head injury, no head injury. And when the CT scan came back normal, that was a miracle. Because I know I saw gray matter, and so did the paramedics. So with that said, God healed that, her head wound, and he also healed her back through surgery, and she's already walking. And I was a nurse at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester Trauma Center, and I contacted some of my trauma surgeons there and told them the extent of her injuries as best as I knew them, and they said it would be 6 weeks before she will probably really be able to walk. And look she did it within a week. So I mean, this is truly a miracle. And while she was in the hospital, she shared the gospel with people, so people were saved. So that's my story. And also I had the privilege of sharing the gospel with a Jewish man, and I just kind of walked through the Old Testament, talked about the Passover. He was devastated with his family, or with his home being completely destroyed, and the estranged relationships in his family and 2 failed marriages. And what a privilege to see the light go on, that this is what he wanted, was Jesus. And he became the end of himself, and he knew he had nothing left. So he put his faith in Jesus and was baptized. It was a wonderful, glorious moment. Had some more baptisms and more wonderful stories, but Sean wants us to keep it short. So there you go, signing off. It was a privilege to serve with all of you. Please be encouraged. Please go on a deployment to serve with these people at Cry. I grew as a believer. I was ministered to by them for my own personal pain, and it was an amazing experience. I wish I had an hour or longer to share more, but I'm short. Bless you.